Good evening. Welcome to an edition of SkyBlueFansTV. Wow, what a game it was against Sheffield United yesterday. Not quite the 3 points, but we got a point out of it and a very, very positive performance. A lot of positive comments, hopefully, tonight on the performance, team selection, and the manager. What a good job he's done. He's unbeaten so far, Rhys Carr. So we'll talk more about that. We've got our guest, Wayne, as well. Also, the regulars, Miles and Claudia. So let's come in, Miles. Good evening.
Evening, all.
Evening, mate. You all right? Yeah?
Great.
Good.
Great.
You little winker, you. Good evening, Claudio. Another winker.
I look like I've got some sort of affliction when I do that.
We've got two winkers on the show. Okay.
Got a couple of little winkers on. And these are the
Right,
biggest.
is there another winker, Wayne? Good evening.
He's a massive winker, this one.
Good evening. I'm sure most of you would rather change that I to an A.
Well, what a performance from him. We'll talk about him in more detail as the show goes on. But let's start off then. Positive performance, great point. Should have been 3 really from where we were, and we all sat together yesterday up in the box. May I not mention it? But we were all up there, and we had a great day. No, it was a good day, and some fantastic hospitality from Brian. Thank you very much. Miles, positive performance, wasn't it? And a battling performance in more ways than one from a lot of the players.
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to say well done to Chris Wilder, because what he said after the game about our players was absolutely spot on. And I think we've touched on it a couple of times on here that, if those players had played the way they've been playing the last couple of games, then Mark Robins would still be in a job. So
absolutely spot on. I agree with that.
Yeah, I just want to back him up on that, because it's right. And some players do have to take a big look at themselves about what has gone on. But for me, it was edge of the seat stuff. You can't beat club football. And yesterday's game was a great example of the EFL. And I think there's been one this afternoon as well with Swansea and Leeds. There's been another cracking game, apparently. So yeah, it was great to be back, and it was good to see the positivity. And for me, Bassette has to start every game. He's absolutely fantastic. He's just what the club needs. He's at this time, Bassette is the player that the club need, because the way things have gone on with Mark Robins and everything, it needs a lift. And he gave the whole crowd a lift yesterday. He got that crowd going. And, Singer's Corner was fantastic from where we were. I don't think I've ever heard it so loud in all my life. They were well behind the team. And I think what started it off the day was the lovely tribute that the club did on the scoreboard, which was fantastic for Mark, playing some memories. And do you know what? It did sort of get you going, didn't it? It got you going. And I think it got the crowd going. And it was just brilliant in the end, in the words of MR. Brilliant. Shame we couldn't get the 3 points.
It was. Do you think, just on touching on Bassette, do you think if Mark Robins was still here, do you think Bassette would have started?
I don't think he would have done. No, I think he would have started with Sims. And, unfortunately, we were talking about it yesterday that Mark Robins was tentative about playing the youngsters for some reason, not too sure. But on that performance yesterday, he definitely deserves a start, and he deserved that yesterday, and it proved what he's capable of doing, because we have been missing that. And it was sort of like watching the first few months of Victor Gyökeres, to be honest.
Yeah, everybody's labelling young Vic.
Yeah, the work rate, the ethic, trying to close it down, As soon as that keeper had a back pass, he was closing the keeper down, which is what we haven't done all season. And that is how we got to the playoffs, was by closing the play down. And, it was signs of early days of Vic. And he's got his first goal now. Okay, it was I thought, it's come off his shin, but if he hadn't little touch on it, it probably wouldn't have gone in. So, he's guided it into the net with his shin. Don't matter how it goes in, it's his first goal for the first team. And let's hope that can push on now. Yeah.
Well, let's hope so. Claudio, I'm sure you enjoyed the match. You were sitting up by me, and it was very positive. You could tell, I could always tell from the first 10, 15 minutes of the game, certainly the first 10 minutes, if we're up for it. And we certainly were yesterday, weren't we?
It's something we've spoken about, isn't it? When we say you can tell how we start, how the game's going to go. When we start slowly, it's just like the Derby game. It's just terrible, isn't it? Yeah. When you look at yesterday, it was much better. But I want to give a couple of things. Actually, the bit about Mark Robins at the start was a clever move by the club because it sort of dampened any sort of anybody singing one Mark Robins during the game. They did the right thing there. Very clever. And what they did was spot on, but it's also very clever what they did as well. Because it was almost like done and dusted. We've done that bit. Also, a lot of credit to Rhys Carr because there's games now, and he's made 5 different formation changes in 2 matches already, which is something we rarely saw. And he did it against Sunderland. He changed the formation 3 times yesterday to suit the subs coming on. I was quite impressed with that, and you could see it. And also, we had 2 wing backs who were actually playing in their half of the pitch, weren't they? They were so high up yesterday,
very high up, yes.
And that's how you put pressure on teams like Sheffield United. They got Burrows, who we were saying we could have really done with him this season. The guy they got from Peterborough, wasn't it? He hardly did anything in that first half. But our only problem is that when we did push forward with the 2 wing backs, we then get caught out for both goals because both of them were really napping, weren't they? Which is still the major problem we've got is defensively. We can score goals. We've scored 1 more goal than Sheffield United. They're top of the league. The reason is they're top of the league. They don't let many goals in. I think was it yesterday let 9 in or something. I mean, they don't normally let in 2 goals in the game.
No,
So. And we keep saying it. We can't keep scoring 3 goals to win a match, even though we've had to this season. It can't carry on. So it was positive. And what Wilder said is a bit cheeky as well, because he's basically implying they've never tried at all this season, which isn't true. There have been games where they've put the effort in. It's just the quality's lacking at times. And if you let in goals, that's a problem. He was basically, I think, he's trying to make a defence for his own substitutions and tactics yesterday. Because why take Hamer off for a start? Although he was a bit limpy, wasn't he?
Yeah, unless he had an injury. That's
possibly, yeah. I just thought he was trying to take the pressure off him. Really, I mean, they had 10 players. I mean, the thing is, even with 10 players, they're still a good unit, Sheffield United, and they're hard to break down. And basically, all they did was put loads of blokes behind the ball, and I thought the second half. There's only 1 half against 10 players, and we're a goal down, so we had to get the goal back. It wasn't like we're level or we're leading already. It was a tough afternoon. I thought they did really well. It's just a shame we can't defend.
It's a shame.
2 shots on target. They scored 2 goals. It's so annoying. And I know that will go through why and who should have been doing what they should have been doing to stop the goals going in.
Yeah, we were sitting there and saying it.
When you see it back, it's terrible. I mean, Bobby Thomas for the first one pulls his leg out of the way because he probably thought, I don't want to stick this in the back of the net. You can see the motion where he doesn't want to touch the ball, and it was all a bit. As soon as Hamer got on the ball, where that ball was going, and we were saying, weren't we? We called it from up the stands.
Yeah.
So it's frustrating. It's frustrating because we've let in too many soft goals, and we should be at least 9 points better off this season.
Yeah.
Even the way we've played this season, we should be 9 points better off.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. Probably more, actually. Wayne, good evening, mate.
Evening.
How did you see the game? Because it was positive from what I could see. Everything was positive about the game, and just a shame we didn't get the 3 points.
He's not really much more I can bloody say. Claudio's pretty much said everything I wanted to say.
We've got a word in edgeways.
Yeah, but it was, as you say, you can always tell how we're going to play watching the first 10 minutes. We were on the front foot. they didn't really look at it, Sheffield. You know, they looked completely off it, whether that was just a case that we were just in their faces. We were actually pressing really well, passing it about really well. It's just that little bit of quality that they had to unlock us. And that's the thing that, you know, I said yesterday, we don't seem to have anyone who can unlock a defence with a through ball like Hamer did for their first goal. And I don't think Sheaf's got that ability. Eccles hasn't. Rodoni, I don't think, has that to do that killer pass. And I think that's kind of where we miss someone like Palmer to do that. But other than that, you know, it was one of the best performances of the season against a team who is second. But it's just the same old thing. You've got to go into a game knowing that to get 3 points, you've got to score 3 goals, and that can't continue. The defence isn't good enough. It's as simple as that. And people can say that they're good players, that we're average at the back at best, and that is it.
I'll tell you what I was impressed with yesterday: the substitutions and the ones he made. And as Claudio said, he made tactical substitutions throughout the game.
Yeah,
and changed the formation, didn't we? To suit how the game was going. Yeah. Now that may or may not have happened under Robbins. I don't think.
I don't think it would have done, because we've always said that, you know, did Mark have a plan B? And time again, it didn't really seem to have one. Whereas, you know, Rhys yesterday, as Claudio alluded to, changed it 3 different times. You know, and against 10 men, you always thought that we were going to get that goal. It always felt like it was coming. Whereas previously, it never, you know, sometimes you just thought it's going to be one of those and we're not going to get anywhere. But we did yesterday. We fought all the way. It's just the same thing, sadly, the issues at the back.
I thought like Latibaudiere, he was so slow yesterday. I mean, it was like he was still in the blinking arrivals lounge at the airport. He was just wasn't there. And when the guy ran past him for the first goal, he was grabbing him. As soon as he went past him, he was trying to hold him. And I mean, we've been told he's one of the only ones who can come back from a long distance flight and he's ready to play. Didn't look at yesterday, did he? At all. You know, I mean, the options. I mean, they're not. We haven't got loads of options, so I suppose that's why he played him. But, you know, to take him off for Mason Clark was a bit interesting, wasn't it? And he changed it all around. We thought, what's he doing here? But he changed it at the right time. And he was moaning. Latty was moaning when he come off. You could see he was having a grumble. And Josh Eccles did. Because I've got to say, Josh Eccles yesterday, Callum O'Hare, it's in his back pocket, isn't he? He hardly touched the ball. I thought he put him some great tackles on him. Brilliant tackles on him.
Yeah, he wasn't in the game at all. He had a very poor game. Josh Eccles, you've got to give him credit there. I know he's not your best, your most popular player, Wayne, Josh, but I thought he had a good game yesterday.
But the thing is, with Josh, though, it's like Wayne says, they can't play a through ball, the little pass. Hamer's pass for the second goal was so nicely touched through, no real pace on it, just enough. We know when it's us, that goes off the byline, doesn't it, or something? It's just always a bit too hard or a bit too short.
Yeah.
But,
what about the pass for Bassette and score?
Well,
that's brilliant. A cross. That's a cross. Okay. But the difference is there. That's a cross. Look at the difference. He's crossing the ball into the box. You've got Haymat, who is pulling a defence apart with a simple pass from midfield. That's the difference that I'm on about. We don't have that ability to do that. The cross in, you can't fault that. That's a great cross in from the byline. There's a big difference between that and threading that through ball to break a defence. And that's the thing that we lack.
The only reason Hamer could thread that ball through is because there was no one in that area. And like you were saying, Latibaudiere was on his back of his heels. When you watch it back, he's on the back of his heels. He can't turn. He can't get back quick enough. And it's because there's no one in there. Sheffield United yesterday, when we were pushing forward in the first half, they had virtually everyone behind the ball. So that ball that Eccles did in on for Bassette's goal is a great ball to get through all of those Sheffield United players, because they were camped virtually in their own penalty box for at least probably 20-25 minutes of that game yesterday in the first half. So that ball Eccles put in was absolutely superb. And you know, Hamer can spread the ball around, yes, but that's because we're light in the middle. If we weren't so light in the middle and everyone was in position, Hamer probably isn't getting that ball through because, you know, we know that we're light at the back, we're light in the middle. We know that we're probably 3 or 4 players short to fill those gaps in. And if we had those 3 or 4 players, maybe that ball doesn't get through to their striker to score the second goal. Maybe that ball doesn't get out wide for, you know, for them to break down and get past De Silva. You know, we've got to, you know, you got to look at this and think we are a team that's still evolving, but we know that we are those players short. So really, though, you know, that I think that ball that Eccles did yesterday is more difficult than what Hamer did yesterday because he's had to get it through a crowd of players, and he did. If you watch it back, nearly every Sheffield United player is camped in their penalty box because we are pushing them forward, and that's the difference. And I think if we had shape, I don't think Hamer would have got those balls through yesterday. And we, you know, because we were out of shape, we were on the attack, and to be honest with you, we should have had a penalty before the first goal. It was a penalty because Bassette's pulled down, and it's definitely a penalty. And you could have had a shout for 2 in that first half. You know, there was a high boot as well on Victor Torp, you know, because he's gone in for the header. The studs are up, you know, so you got a case of two things there. And when you look at the stats, we did camp in their half, like Claudio said. Our fullbacks, Milan and De Silva, were really far forward. The only thing for me that I keep saying, look, we said it yesterday. I said De Silva's a different player now. He's been called up to Wales. The problem with De Silva is too small. Mm-hmm. We've got to get another left back to fill in for Bidwell when he's injured or whatever, and we need to push De Silva up because he's better. If you watched him yesterday, he was great at going forwards, De Silva, and it sort of put a spark back into him of being called up to Wales. And you know, that's how I see it with it yesterday. I think that Hamer would never have got them balls through if we had shape and we had leaders in that team. No chance in a million years, because we would have had solid players in the right position. We were out of position, you know, because Latabodier is on his heels. He's out of position. That's why he's on his heels. That's why he couldn't get back. And when you watch it back, he is on his heels. You can see it. And you know who used to do that? We kept saying it before. Todd Kane. Todd Kane used to do that. Do you remember when he used to get down the line and then all of a sudden he couldn't get back because he was on his back heels and he couldn't turn. So he was always out of position. And that's what happened to Latty yesterday for that second goal. But then, you know, we've hit the post. What a great strike from Milan, who got man of the match. Absolutely cracking strike.
His dummy was brilliant for that shot, though, weren't it? Where he pulled it on his left foot and then struck it with his right. It was, he sold him all day long with that.
Yeah, even Sakamoto when he came on was superb, wasn't he?
He sold a few players yesterday. He sent one on his bum as well, didn't he? It was brilliant.
He sent a few back in.
Yeah, he did. It was absolutely fantastic. So. And it's like Oggy said, I was listening to the phone in on my way back from the Shepherd last night at like 1 o'clock in the morning. I got it on the radio. And I listened to it back, and Oggy says the problem is yesterday is that we didn't cross the ball enough. We didn't get the ball in enough. And you know, we scored from a corner from a, you know, great header, Bobby Thomas, brilliant. But we didn't cross the ball enough. And it's like Oggy was saying, if you get that ball in the mixer, all it's got to do is it can come out. They can make a mistake. Someone on the edge of the box can hit it in, like Milan did with his, you know, hit the post, anything like that. And he said that's the only flaw that, you know, that Oggy was disappointed with yesterday, is that we didn't get enough crosses in when they were down to 10 men. And
that's a good point, because you actually see their defending for that second goal, and it was, if that was the other way around, we'd be going absolutely nuts on here.
Yeah.
It was really bad defending.
Yeah, it was. I mean, 2 defenders gone up for the same ball.
Yeah.
You know, no communication. And Bobby Thomas is behind them all on his own, heads it down, bang. And another thing about De Silva, he had a great chance in the first half. What a great header. He did everything right. He did absolutely everything right. He headed it down, bang. and you could see it going top corner, and the goalkeeper somehow tipped it wide or tipped it out. Absolutely brilliant. And that's the only flaw with De Silva. He's too small to play at left back. He's better pushing him up forwards. He's way better. So we need to find a way to strengthen it at the back, but to push De Silva up somehow.
Yeah.
You know,
well, left backs, as far as I'm concerned, one to play and one to cover. You want to get out of this division.
Yeah.
We're not strong enough defensively. I've said it all along. Last season, the same players are playing, the same amount of goals are going in.
Yeah.
So you could get rid of 3 or 4 of them, to be honest. It wouldn't make a difference. They're not good enough to keep the goals out. Our keeper barely faces a shot, but every time he does, it goes in. It's ridiculous. It's so annoying.
It was annoying when they had 2 shots on target and scored with both of them. That's very annoying, isn't it?
Yeah,
we had a hatful and we didn't score. But it's one of them things. You can get punished, and we got punished by Hamer yesterday, didn't we? And we know the annoying thing is we know how good he is, so you should never give him that much room. He was
relatively quiet as well, wasn't he? For a lot of the game,
it took a while for him to touch the ball, didn't it?
Yeah, but it was. As soon as he did get it, you kind of thought he's going to do something, and he did. And the 2 passes he did were brilliant.
Yeah. Well, that's all. I've got some loads of comments coming in then, Claudio.
Yeah, that's right. Well, here we go then. Paul Cuttiford, sulking all done. Let's see if Lampard turns up with his phone book contact, because I don't see much else he has to offer. But I'm prepared to be proven wrong. DK out. He don't have a clue. Okay.
Say as it is.
Paul Hughes, great game. Lovely moment when Gus went over to Singer's corner to take a corner because he wants to come back.
And that was a good moment when we've seen the video of that, and it's he got a really good round of applause when he came over, didn't he?
Would have been interesting if O'Hare took a corner.
Paul Hughes, love Norman's dark arts play. Got to love the wink and the kiss.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah. Colin Bramfield, did anyone see what happened at half-time with the players in the tunnel? We didn't.
We did, but I believe some of the subs on the bench of Sheffield United had to go at Norman, apparently, on the way off.
I'd like to see the scene. I wonder if they'll cut it out.
Yeah, I wonder.
I was too busy having the Belgium chocolate ice cream, wasn't I, Ken?
You were, yeah.
I was freezing eating that. I don't know why I did that. Ian Courts, Norman is our Jamie Vardy, correct? I believe he is. And last someone who does the dark arts about time as well. It's just somebody who's prepared to run around and get stuck in. It's not hard, is it? Isn't that standard for a forward? That's just surely that's what you want. Covandy, how good was Norman? Pace, passion, the dark arts, something we've been missing for a while. Yeah, fair play to him. Maybe you don't know, Mark Robbins has left. Maybe he feels like his shackles are off and he's given a chance. Maybe he's been told, look, you're in the team, get on with it. GLB boxing, Storm and Norman is going to become a huge problem for defenders in this division and beyond. Just a shame we can't defend. Some same soft goals we concede every week. This is a comment from somebody new. We're not seeing this one before. You said, we said. I'm glad you're listening and watching.
You said we
we should also won the game. We're all over Sheffield. Callum O'Hare, who?
That was the thing about Eccles yesterday. His job was to keep O'Hare quiet. Did you see him nipping at his ankles all the time, sort of trying to put him off and really upset him?
Really quiet. He played really well yesterday, Eccles.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Him and Chief were fantastic, I thought.
Yeah.
Glenn says it's hilarious the Blaze fans moan about Norman when they had Billy Sharp, who's the biggest wind-up merchant around in the EFL. Yeah, remember that game against Forest?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all play it. They're all moaning about it, but every team's got one. Well, apart from us, we didn't have one, but we've got one now.
I know it wasn't Wilder in charge. Just go back and watch Sheffield United West Brom from all those years ago where they were trying to get the players sent off to get the game called off.
Yeah.
Taylor, even though what a great game, I was on the edge of my seat. Yes, we have things to work on, but was a much improved performance and thoroughly entertaining. We all said, didn't we? I mean, Miles said it. So glad the international stuff's over because that was proper football yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah,
loved it. such a good game, and that's what you want. We've been saying it. We just want to be entertained, get off, backsides off your seats, feel like there's something going on in the game, and enjoying it, and have a half decent performance. That's what we want.
Aren't you lot entertained in the box? Forget the football.
We were fantastic at half time. Yes, we were.
Those mortal peasants have to, embrace the cold and have crap beer. You three get to have your cucumber sandwiches and ice cream.
Well, it was sausage and bacon yesterday.
So just rub it in, eh?
Wait, Ken, don't tell him what we had. Don't tell him.
Sorry, I can't say.
Sweets at half time.
Yeah.
So sad, Miles. You look really peed off with it.
It was actually windy.
I only went to keep warm.
Yeah, well, it's windy up there, wasn't it? It's not that warm at all.
I say I still ain't climatised back. It's awful.
To disagree, Wilder comments. He's a clown looking to deflect from his side's awful performance. What I said, Glenn, it's just nonsense. To come out like that straight away, he's trying to make it out it's us and not them. It's weird. I
liked his comment at the beginning of the interview. I thought that was brilliant.
Well, but he did it for a reason.
Yeah, but I liked it. I think he obviously the football world have been. I know we keep talking about it, but the football world have been shocked by the dismissal of departure of Robbins, and he wanted to, just say if those players were running around like that for Mark Robbins, he'd still have his job, and he's right.
I do agree that he probably is right. And then the players, some of the players have got to stand up and look in the mirror and say, "Well, did I perform in all the games I should have?"
Exactly.
It reminded me of the Kevin Keegan. I thought he was going to start saying, "I'll bloody love it if they get beat next week." That's what it sounded like to me.
The thing is, right, Cloudy, you said we've had a few good performances. Yes, we've had a few good performances. Blackburn at home, Oxford at home, things like that, and a couple of good away performances, Middlesbrough away, and what was the there was another one as well, I can't remember now, but that's it, Luton at home. But you can't just turn up the odd game, and you've got to be, look, we pay good money to watch this. What we seen yesterday, you expect every single week, no matter what.
Well, we said last week, we thought they're going to show up because they know there's a new man coming in, and some of them are playing for a contract now because they could be out the door.
But they should have done that for Mark Robbins. There's no excuse, right? No matter what's changed behind the scenes, we know them players are good players, and those players, like Chris Wilder said, fair play to him. And I'm going to ruffle a few feathers here because you've seen Glenn don't agree with it or whatever. He said the right thing. And people need to know, the players need to know that they've let Mark Robbins down. And Mark Robbins has probably let himself down in a way with what we've heard so far, but there's two sides to every story. But those players, some of them, not all of them, some of them, have not performed. And that is why he is no longer here. And this is why we've been having this discussion. Who's the next blooming manager? So they've got to stand up. And Chris Wilder, I liked his interview. And I thought it was pretty good.
Glenn says, the incident in the tunnel, Wilder was abusing Norman as he went off. Thomas gave him stick back, and then it seemed to kick things off in the tunnel. It's fantastic. We want a bit of this, don't we? But I think he said Highfield Road at the CBS.
Yeah, we don't see much of it now, do we? They're kicking off the tunnel. We used to see a lot of it.
They're all too nice. I bet they're all hugging each other before the game, weren't they? I don't want to see all that. Baker says, "Oh no, scraping the bottom of the barrel with Wayne on."
Oh, here we go.
He's returning the favour from last week, isn't he?
Yeah, the abuse starts.
David Granigan, I still think, though, it was definitely 2 points drop. Need to start taking chances like we had 70 plus minutes against 10 men. Was it 70? It was only 45.
Yeah, it was right at the end of half time.
Yeah. That's Paul Stratton. Bassette needs to tone down diving, otherwise he could become a liability. Needs to start. I reckon you got a right to reply to Paul Stratton, haven't you, Miles?
No, I'm all right, fine, thanks.
What you said that we did on the day. Who was coming in, who was going out, who was starting, how he was shaping up. On the up, Wilder not scratching his brother Gene. Willy Wonka sour grapes. GLB boxing. Whose choice was Rhys Carr original appointment? Was it King's or Robbins? We don't know.
That's something we don't quite know, do we? Whether it was Robbins who brought in Boateng and Rhys Carr, or was it Doug King? We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I put on there Rhys Carr, Sky Blue Army, and straight away people go, "No, you can't give him the job after 2 games." And I'm only joking. It's just jokes.
Honestly, you can't give him the job after 2 games.
No, it's just jokes. It's not. I wasn't being serious.
Whoever comes in though has got. Surely Rhys Carr's got to stay. They can't afford to get rid of him. And Boateng, can they? They've only just signed contracts.
On the phone in last night, there was so many text messages coming in and people ringing in saying, "Give Rhys Carr the job." He's had 2 games. Two games. You can't.
You can't. He's done a great. He's been impressive. I was impressed with him. I mean, we've got some comments here.
You can't.
Comments here from him that he said in the press conference, didn't we? Afterwards, got a picture of.
Yeah, Wayne. What were you just going to say, Wayne?
Short memory syndrome. You put 1 good performance or 2, and that's it. They think it's the best thing since sliced bread. But here's the other thing. You know, where was his input for the previous 10, 11 games when working with Robbins? Because we were all moaning it was crap then. So, you know, which way are you going to have it?
Yeah.
Do you want to check that out?
Yeah, go on. Yeah, this is what he said in the BBC.
I'm not doing it in a Welsh accent, though. They've shown their character, their spirit, and their togetherness. It's all the things we keep speaking about. And then with the quality we have got there as well, we always confidence where we can get results. Well, that's, to be honest, that's what Mark Robbins would have said.
Yeah, but I was impressed the way he conducted the press conference and the way he's come and the way he's done his substitutions and stuff like that. He's read the game really well and he's made changes when he had to.
There's definitely changes made that we know Mark Robbins wouldn't have made. He used to do like for like changes that, you know, he'd have put on Asante for Bassette. He wouldn't even put Sims on probably because there's no centre forward to swap him with, really. I don't know. It'd have just, he changed it around, which we just wouldn't have done.
Here's a question. Here's a question for the 3 of you. When you hear Rhys Carr talking and you look at him and you watch him, do you think he's warm?
Warm.
Warm in what? What do you mean in warm? As in accommodating for people, or what? Do you mean?
Yeah.
I think he comes over quite well, actually.
Do you?
And a lot more jollier than Robbins used to. If I'm honest, I think he does. I think he does. I think he just. I mean, at the minute he's filling in, isn't he? He can't really say a lot, and he's saying all the right things, and at the minute he's doing all the right things as well, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
Wayne.
It was interesting when Vivash was here. He never really spoke to the press, did he, Vivash, in interviews after the match or anything like that? It was always Robbins, wasn't it?
Mm.
And whereas some managers send their assistant in sometimes or to speak to press, but Vivash never really spoke to any press, did he? I can't remember him doing an interview. It's always been Robbins.
Wayne, what about you? Do you think he's warm?
I think he sounds boring. It kind of sends me to sleep a little bit, if I'm being honest. But, you know, it's nothing new from what we used to hear. You know, take aside this season where Mark Robbins was a lot more angry in his interviews and calling people out. He always used to say the same stuff, Mark, playing against a really good team. We're going to battle. We'll do this, we'll do that. It's just like the same script. This guy, it's a difficult situation where he's obviously talking about Mark going and he's going to say the players are battling there together, but it's kind of just boring. It kind of cures my insomnia, if I'm being honest. I can't imagine him going into a changing room and being someone that can really G you up. All right, I know we were 2-0 down against Sunderland, so I'm probably sounding a bit stupid here, but on the longevity, I don't think... Yeah, he doesn't fill me with like a bit of aspiration of get up and go. It's just very one tone, very mono, just like, a little bit boring for me. But he's had 2 games against first and second division, and we've played decent football. So, am I wrong? Maybe.
Okay, well, let's talk about the Winker.
The what?
Well, I think Wayne's all right, actually. Come on, mate. He's a nice bloke, really. But, it was his birthday. Was it yesterday, was it? I'm not going to sing happy birthday.
It was, mate, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Birthday for yesterday, yeah.
Thank you.
How did you see it go, Miles? From when you were up by us?
I missed it.
Clear sending off.
No, I missed it.
You missed it, did you?
I just turned my back to go to the toilet. I was desperate. Yeah. I just turned my back to go in the door, and then I heard all the commotion. So I stood there watching it on the telly and seeing it. I went, "Oh man!"
So you've seen it back. You've seen it again, and
I've seen it there. On the screen.
I'll see a clear sending off.
Yeah, I thought it was brilliant.
Great gamesmanship by Norman, wasn't it?
I thought it was brilliant, mate. I thought it absolutely brilliant because it was brewing up, weren't it? There was a couple of tackles earlier on in the half, and it was brewing and brewing and brewing. Bassette's putting a challenge on him from behind. He's brought him down, and then he stood up. He stood over him, and he's sort of pushed him slightly on the back of the neck. And,
did he get a yellow for that, by the way?
No, did he get booked? He did get booked. And then he's said something to him, and he's stood away from him, turned round, and there he is in his face, and he's got his hand round his throat, and then he gets his fist to him, doesn't he, or something, I think.
Right in front of the referee, yeah.
And he falls to the floor, and I don't care what anyone says. Oh, he's playing it up. He was looking for it. Fair play. Absolutely fair play. It is about time we have done this, because we've had Preston, we've had teams like that coming to us. There's Preston, there's Luton, there's Norwich. You got all those players that come to us. They all start rolling around on the floor. Fulham did when they came, when they were in this league. Sheffield United did the year we beat them. We were 1-0 down and we beat them 4-1.
Even Leicester tried it.
Leicester tried it. They all come up here and they all try it on, and they all put it to us. And we've been saying it. We need to start doing this. I thought it was great. I couldn't stop laughing at it because it was just fantastic. And it's just brilliant. It's brilliant. You see it in the Premier League and everything. You see it all over. There's one this afternoon, Man United, their right back. He got fouled, right? And he got the free kick. But after I don't know if he knew the whistle went, but he got the free kick and he was still on the floor, and he thought, I'll hold my head. And he starts holding his head. Yeah. So it's all over the place. It's everywhere. So fair play to Bassette. Absolutely right. Because we knew something was going to happen yesterday. We said it on Thursday night. It was going to be a feisty game. And Bassette, he's played the game yesterday, and he was up for it. So fair play to him. I love it.
For a 19-year-old kid, I mean, to do that,
fantastic.
Like that, brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah,
normally
fantastic.
Like a seasoned professional would do that sort of thing, but he's not been, he's not been in the game that long. 19. How did you see it, Claudia? Because you were right next to me. You seen it?
Yeah, I mean, as an Italian, I can't condone that sort of thing.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
You guys bloody invented it.
Euro final, do anyone?
You're not going to get an Italian doing that. That's terrible.
Every Italian team talk is literally, how can we stitch the other opponent up? You don't talk tactics.
I thought typical Belgium, that is. That's it. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. And the thing is, if you watch it all, he even drags his foot over the back of his calf, doesn't he, as he goes over the top of him before he sort of tweaks him on the back of the net. For a 19-year-old, he knew exactly. That's fantastic stuff.
He knew exactly what to do. Yeah.
Miles has said it. He got roughed up a couple of times. He should have had a penalty. He was getting knocked out. And it's annoying. Because
Chris Wilder failed to mention that in his interview, that the previous tackles on Bassett before that incident happened. A couple of incidents before that.
Because it's our player, some of us are a bit, we shouldn't be doing that. It's not a very nice thing to us. Forget it. It's all about winning football matches. And if you
here we go, Jaguar advert coming out.
Got to get started on that.
We shouldn't do that.
Exactly. It's all about It's all about winning football matches. And fair play to the lad. I loved it. And, you know, what did he do? What did we ask for Thursday was to get the crowd on their feet behind the team. And that's the sort of thing that happened all game. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant. And it's all these sanctimonious people. You see them on social media. Oh, I wouldn't do that. Oh, it's so wrong. It upset me. What, the bloke got sent off? You know, as soon as he got sent off, I thought, right, we can get back. We can get a goal. I said to Ken, right, we'll lose this now. We're going to get something out of this today. You know, it was fantastic. And I mean, the guy was a mug for falling for it. I mean, he's a professional centre half. It's, you know, that's why Wilder was upset.
Yeah, he was annoyed at him, wasn't he?
Completely got mugged off. 3 points, hasn't he?
Yeah, he got mugged off, didn't he?
I thought it was great. Fair play to lad. And now he's got, everybody loves him. Everybody loves him.
And he's got a 3-game ban as well, so that Sheffield United will miss him for 3 games, which is a bit of a blow for them.
Bassette could have 5 crappy games. He'll still be forgiven because of what he did in that one match. Yeah. That's how it works in football.
And 100% the fans will be on him, on his side all the time. So that's what the fans want to see. Wayne, I suppose you agree with all that, don't you?
I do. I've actually got, I suppose, 4 kind of things on it. Number 1 is absolutely loved it. More of it. The other 10 players should be getting involved with stuff like this because it's brilliant. So let that be a lesson to all the lightweights in our team of that is how you wind people up. So, yeah, brilliant. Loved it. Number 2, I think, kind of thank God we don't have VAR because he might have been in trouble with a challenge where he actually elbowed him in the face.
Where he fell and his elbow.
He would have gone against us, because that was intentional. He knew what he was doing there and he gave him a cheeky elbow. So that could have gone against us.
Didn't see it.
When all the... Sorry, Carl, go on.
I didn't see it.
He didn't see it. Like the referee.
Italians don't. They have bad eyesight.
I thought it was a fair challenge. The sort of challenge I expect Cellini would have done. That's a fantastic challenge.
Where can his elbow go, Wayne?
Probably is,
probably not on his cheek. I'd say the third one, which was I don't know if many people picked up, but I thought the guy who shoved, I think it was
Milan.
I thought he could have gone.
Yeah.
I really do. I think because he went in hard.
Yeah.
And I think the referee kind of missed that because of what was going on with, Bertie Bassett. And then the fourth point, I think it's going to be key now how he goes forward with this because his card is marked in terms of how referees will see him. So he's got to learn the dark arts to continue to do what he's doing, but take it to a different level because they'll all be looking out for him after doing that wink and stuff, which I don't think he probably should have done the wink because I think that's made him look bad. I think what he's done is brilliant, but if he had not done that and just carried on, I just think by doing that, it's just marked his card a little bit more with a lot of the referees. I still love it, don't get me wrong. I was laughing at half time, but it's going to be interesting to see how he can develop the dark arts even better now.
Yeah, but it didn't affect Cristiano Ronaldo doing the wink and the smile, so...
No, but that's chalk and cheese there.
It's in a football match. He winked and he smiled.
He was a club mate at the time. He had to go back to Man United, didn't he?
Yeah, he had to go back to Man United, yeah.
So, that's my 4 points on it. But, yeah, overall, loved it. Absolutely loved it.
The only way to take the attention off him is the other players start doing the same.
Yeah.
Then the referee ain't going to know what to do.
Funny enough, did it? Because one thing I looked at I actually looked to see how Hamer and O'Hare would react to see if they dive in.
Well, O'Hare was late on the scene, O'Hare.
Yeah, O'Hare kind of was like one of those ones, little schoolboy at the end. I'm going to wait till everyone else has got battered and I'll hang around at the end.
But Hamer was in there trying to separate, wasn't he?
Yeah, and Hamer, it was, they didn't really want to get involved.
Well, O'Hare didn't have his man bag with him, so he couldn't do anything.
Read some comments out.
Yeah, I've got a lot more comments on
loads of comments. I'll try and get as many as I can now. Then, right, Gavin Collins, great performance. What could this team do with Hamer to thread balls and quality experience centre back? Bassette leading by example. Fantastic housery. Yes. Chris Baker says Latty's at fault for the second. Completely lost his man.
Yeah, we know. Chris, we know that. We've already said that.
We said it earlier, but we haven't got to it. A. Bennett, Carr was spot on with the team's choices. Great game. This is one from Paul Macaulay. Right, settle in, get yourselves a cup of tea. This is a long one. I think we would have taken a point at the start of the game.
No, definitely.
The boys played excellent, but just couldn't get the ball over the line to get the 3 points. I see a little bit of Victor in Bassette with his strength and work ethic. And also Michael Dorr with his temperament and looks to enjoy winding up the opposition. If we could sort the back line out over the next few weeks, I see no reason why we shouldn't be there or thereabouts in the playoffs come May.
I think it's going to be difficult now with the goal difference, isn't it? I think that is huge. 23 conceded, isn't it? Was it 22 and scored, I think, is it 20? We scored more than Sheffield, but I think that goal difference it's an extra point in it if you ain't got the right goal difference.
Yeah, I
I
mean, I always look at Notts Forest. Remember when they were there Christmas time, they were bottom and they ended up going up, didn't they?
Yeah.
Wasn't that with a current vacant manager?
Yes.
Who's just come available.
Correct.
Yes, please, Mark, don't go to Leicester. Please, Mark, don't go to Leicester.
We play for them. David Granigan, our defence really does need to improve. As you said, we can't keep giving ourselves a mountain to climb every game. If they can sort it, we'll be fine. Ian Small says,
Ian?
House fans.
Norman, easily first choice now. Question, would you sell Sims in January while he still has value? Right, okay, we'll come to that in a minute.
Are we all saying yes to that while Vicky's not here?
Yeah. Mark, right. I texted to CWR after Sunderland said, I thought Robbins lost certain members of the dressing room. Clive and Gurney said rubbish. I stand by this, and Chris Wilder said similar.
Well, I suppose we'll never know the truth on that one.
On the up, great to see you all yesterday, Ken, Miles, and Jack.
Thank you.
That's you, Claudio. Jack in the box.
Somebody who's Jack. Anyway.
Back in the box.
Peter Doonan. Good evening, guys. Just a waiting game for the new manager. Plenty of people hope for their favoured people, but unless Doug wants a big name, we might be disappointed with who we get. I don't know about you. I'm actually a bit bored now. Just get somebody. I'm just like...
It won't be till after Tuesday, will it?
No, I think it's going to be Wednesday, isn't it? They're going to make an announcement.
Yeah. Or they'll announce something and say he won't take charge till the weekend, or Adam Shaw. I like how active Carr was on the touchline and how he was having detailed chats with the players in the warm up.
Oh, can I just say something on that, Claudio? You said something to me yesterday. There's only Rhys Carr in our box, right? Yeah. And there was about 4 Sheffield United staff in their technical area, and you're only meant to have one, aren't you?
That's right. And then all of a sudden, our lads started going into the technical area. That happens a lot. They had 3 or 4 all in that technical area at one stage.
Well, then that's up to the 4th official to sort that out, and that's his job.
Yeah, but
he don't have to do a lot, does he?
What I noticed was Rhys was talking to the 4th official. While I was talking to the 4th official, their guys kept coming forward into the technical area.
Yeah.
Lee Dan. We need a quality left back, wing back, Silver at fault for both goals, and a strong playmaker next to Sheaf, and we'll be okay. Bassette was excellent. Look at the strong subs we brought on the second half. Got to say, Mason Clark, I thought was excellent when he came on.
Because he's playing in his correct position. Is that right?
Yeah, he looks a handful.
Yeah.
I thought Victor Tort was good yesterday as well.
Yeah. He was.
Brilliant. In that little pocket there, that number 10 role, I thought, brilliant.
Mini Phoenix Gaming, we don't really try and thread balls through into defences anyway. Most of our attacks come from the wings. That's because we've got nobody who can. I think this is what Wayne was saying. Hamer used to do it when he was still here. We've not replaced that at all. It's like what's his face? Casey Palmer. The ball he played at Bristol in the Cup away from home to Sims. That's the sort of pass we're missing. Yeah. We don't do enough of that. Nice little slide ball pass. Just, in between 2 defenders. Yeah. Rob Nichols, big cheer under the stands at half-time when Sky replayed the Bassette wink. He's going to be a hero at the Sky Blues. Nearest thing we have to Gyökeres. Warren Daniel. Bassette has to start. We need an attacking midfielder. Agree, no one can put the killer pass through. Ralph Wiggins says 100%. Correct, Miles. De Silva has ability, but not in defence. And Michael Summers says as well, agreed, De Silva is better forward than at the back. He's a tricky little beggar. Milan is the brightest light in our squad. He had a good game yesterday, didn't he? A really good game.
He did. He got man of the match up in the up in the lounges.
It's been a long time coming for Milan, though, hasn't he? He's been a bit off this season.
Yeah. Mark R, I think the high wing backs was a tactical decision. It kept their fullbacks in their half. In the Sheffield derby, they were playing through Gilchrist and Burrows. Neither got a touch in our half yesterday. But that's how we should play anyway. I don't understand why we don't. It's so frustrating. Matthew Stone says, Norman's jumped to the top of my favourite players list. Thought he was brilliant. If he keeps playing with that edge to his game, it'll be the fans' fave in no time. Haymore's class, Premiership class.
You missed this one. Hold on, you missed this one from Finn.
I thought we outplayed them, even 11v11, but then they can finish when they get chances. That's the difference. Bassette looks good, but needs to calm down. Otherwise, will be a red card. We'll be red carded a lot. While this is, that's why he took him off, didn't he? He took him off quite early. Yeah. He looked upset, but he had to. He had to take him off.
He was knackered. Martin sat next to me and he says he looks shattered now.
He did a lot of running, and obviously he took him off. Got a yellow. He's been booked, and they were looking to wind him up, I suppose, as well, try and get a bit back on, a bit of revenge, weren't they? I presume.
Yeah.
Rich Anderson says, "What do you think to Milan's positioning for both goals?" Well, this is what Wayne was alluding to. That we're pushing up high, which means people have to cover behind. This is what, and we get caught out. If we want to go forward, then we need players in our defence who can cover them, don't we?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Any more messages, or
which is why when it's like we were saying earlier, if you had a defensive midfielder that sat just in front of the back three, if we're playing that way, that doesn't really move, just moves across, then if we are pushing forward with the wing backs, when they come back on the attack, that defensive midfielder slots back and one of the defenders goes out. Really, if you're going to do that, that's probably the best formation. That's probably the best thing you can do, is having a holding midfielder that covers that area.
Yeah, I think our problem yesterday was that we were attacking so much so early on that Redoney, Torp, Sheaf and Eccles were all probably too high up at particular times, where really a couple of them can't do that. They can't all go, can they? They've got to cover the people who are doing the overlaps.
Yeah.
It's like when Sakamoto came on and he was linking up with Milan, their link up was great, because they were, if Tats got forward, Milan did the overlap, but Tats stayed. And you don't. That's because we haven't got the balance on the other side. Again, you see, you haven't got that balance. We've had that balance on the right-hand side now for 2 seasons, and the problem is we haven't got that on the other side.
So Gavin Spicer thinks we need 2 defenders, 2 midfielders that will show the commitment that Norman demonstrated. Rob Nichols, you're right, Miles. Miles is reading the game right. You can't thread passes through when the other team parks the bus. Much easier for a team on the break. Messi could.
Well, Messi can do anything. Right, we got some more?
Yeah, I'll do a couple more. Comical Boxer, is Frank the Plank definitely going for got the job? I see that certain media outlets seem to suggest he does. Anyone know? No one knows.
No one knows at the moment.
And this is.
I had a word with someone yesterday, and they said if it was Frank, they would have told us yesterday while we were somewhere in the ground. We would have been told, but they said it's not. They don't know yet. They don't know.
What, you personally, that you'd have been told, or
Yeah. Spoke to someone.
That had took you in the side room and said, Miles.
It was, wasn't it? Someone said to me yesterday, I'm not going to say who it was, but they said, because I said, come on, is it Frank? And they said to me, if it was Frank, I'd tell you straight away now. They don't know. They don't know. Who it is. There you go.
Yeah, I know you mean that. Chris Gervin, Ben Sheaf is a weak captain. Need to give the armband to Eccles. As he was.
No, I don't agree with that.
He showed passion and pride. No, you don't want. The trouble is, you don't want somebody in the referee's ear like that, because they will get booked in the end. It's
Stupid comment. Stupid comment. Sorry.
No. Ben Sheaf.
No, I think Ben did a good job as a captain. He did all right.
All day long. Yeah.
Bloody Eccles, as good as he was yesterday, this season he seems to have a bit of a habit with getting booked for dissent.
He does, actually. Yeah, he's been booked for
6 bookings and 5 of them for dissent.
Isn't he missing? Yeah. Isn't he missing Tuesday?
I think he got booked again on Saturday, didn't he?
Yeah, he got booked. Yeah, he got booked for dissent yesterday. Yeah,
so he might have to miss a game now. I'm not sure when the cut-off point is.
He's on 6 for the season. I know that.
Yeah. He got booked for disputing a corner, wasn't it? That they got a goal kick. It's just ridiculous. It's stupid. Mark R. Did anybody else think the manager panicked at the sending off when he pulled their 9? It destroyed all their outlet options in the second half. Not complaining though. We thought O'Hare was going to come off, didn't we? That's what we thought.
We did. We were looking for that number 10 coming off.
Yeah. No, I was so looking forward to seeing that.
And Dawn says, in future, I'll take Vicky's place in the box so I don't have to slum it in the rain, please.
You missed this one. You missed this one.
Oh, Alex Craig, good to see Jake Bidwell back yesterday.
It was good.
It was, actually.
Brilliant.
Right, over to you, Ken.
Right, let's talk about, we have got another game on Tuesday night, Burnley away. Difficult place to go, as we all know. Although we have played there quite well. Last time I went there, we played really well, even though we lost. We played really well, and I thought, we were lucky not to get anything out of the game. How do we see Tuesday night going? And do you think, is it same team for you? Or does he have to make a few tweaks because it's 2 games in a week? Or can they cope with 2 games in a week, Miles?
I knew you were going to come to me first. That was the game where the goalkeeper was on the bench, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We lost 1-0.
Can the players cope with 2 games a week? Because sometimes they can't, as we've seen before.
And Victor missed that sitter in the second half, didn't he, the Burke? But unfortunately, and we probably could have come away with a point. Maybe even won that. Right, let's see how this one's going to go. It will be, Does he stick? Does he stick or twist? I think he sticks, but make one change.
Who's that be?
I would take Rodoni off and play Sakamoto.
Okay.
Yeah, I think first half yesterday, I think we were slightly carrying Rodoni in the first half, only slightly, not much. Second half, he was way better. He was really good. So I think you start with Sakamoto against Burnley. I'd go that way. Definitely start Bassette, and maybe just stick to what we've got. Or maybe he might change Latty because he's travelled from Jamaica, and he might bring Kitchen in because he had a rest yesterday, didn't he? So, yeah, maybe just one change. But if Latty's tired, then obviously you're going to make 2. Collins played well. I'd keep Collins in goal. I never thought I'd say that. So I'm holding my hands up there. I never thought I'd say that Collins had a good game.
He did okay yesterday, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm not his biggest fan, but he didn't really have much to do, though, did he?
He didn't have much chance with any of the goals, I don't think.
No, but when he had the ball, his clearance, his distribution was really good, especially when he was having his back passes and that. He was trying to pick out passes further up the pitch, and that was a tactical thing. So, yeah, maybe that one change. Yeah. But I don't fancy travelling up to Burnley in this weather on a Tuesday night.
No. And as we know, the last time we played a Saturday and then followed by a midweek game, it was played well against Middlesbrough on the Saturday, and then we're awful against Derby, weren't we, Claudio?
But it might get called off. It might get called off because Blackburn was called off yesterday.
Yeah, possible.
Now, I don't know if that's because John Eustace was up here to watch the team. I'm not too sure. But you never know. Burnley might be called off Tuesday if this weather carries on. Sorry, Claudio, over to you.
Go on, Claudio. Can the players cope with 2 matches in a week? Because they were struggling in the last one.
Cope with 2 matches in a week at the minute. It is Tuesday, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh no! What a dilemma! Do we watch Cov or do we watch Gyökeres against Arsenal?
Oh, of course, yeah, big Vic's in London.
No, I think. Well, in current form, I think we're 8th or 9th in the table. You know,
yeah,
we're doing really well on current form.
Well, we played the top 2, haven't we? The last 2 games.
The last 6 matches, although we've got 9, we've got 3 wins. 2 wins, 3 draws.
Yeah.
And that's the same as Burnley. There you go. So, on current form, we're doing exactly the same. The trouble is, our record up there is horrendous. So, it's not very good. I think last time we won there was 2007, I think. So it's a while. Although we didn't play him for a few years, did we? But I'm not expecting to. If we get another draw, that'd be wonderful, wouldn't it? To be honest.
Well, yeah. That's Rhys Carr, 3 draws.
And there's nothing to say we can't. There's nothing. As long as we do what we did yesterday, actually have a go. That's the thing, isn't it?
Would you keep the same team then? Or would you make a few tweaks?
I wonder if he goes to a flat back 4, you see. He could do that, couldn't he?
Could do, yeah.
It depends on. I've not really looked too much at Burnley to see how they line up every week. But I'm not going to say Latty should be kicked out of the team just because he was a bit slow yesterday. But it just depends. They're going to be on the front foot more than us. It is what's his name, the manager. I can't think of his name now. Parker, isn't it? They're not an adventurous team, are they? They're not.
Well, they haven't been dominating the league, have they? Like they did the year before when they went up.
No, aren't they?
Yeah, I put them down in our predictions as they're going to win the league. I called them boring Burnley, which is what they are. and I think they win games 1-0, don't they? They don't. They're not.
They won today 1-0 away to Bristol, didn't they?
They've scored 19 goals. Was it 19 goals? Yeah, 19 goals they've scored. So they don't score loads of goals. That's just over 1 a game.
Yeah,
we've scored. Our ratio is better than theirs in terms of scoring goals.
Yeah,
but they've only let in 6. That's the difference.
Well,
so if we get one chance, we need to take it. Put it that way.
Yeah, and you'd obviously keep Bertie Bassett in the team then.
Oh, without a doubt. He's like with them spinning tops, hasn't he? You remember those spinning tops? He used to get the game, he used to spin them, and he's like, that's what he's like, isn't he? He's all over the place. I love it. And we need that. We need that. The team, Sims don't give you that. Haji Wright doesn't give you that. Asante doesn't give you that. Asante's got the touch of a trampoline at times. It's a nightmare. It really is to see him. Even yesterday where he probably should have had a penalty, but it's just so frustrating to watch him play at times. And
it'd be interesting when Haji comes back, when he's fully fit, who he goes with then, wouldn't it?
Well, it depends who's in charge.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's down to the new manager. Hopefully he'll be in charge by then.
Yeah, Norman Bassette's got to start without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll change much. I really don't think it'll change much. Maybe Bidwell could come in for De Silva, something like that.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah,
a more solid defender, maybe. Midfield wise, we can't change a lot, can we? Because
we had Jamie Allen on the bench on Saturday, surprisingly.
Yeah, but that's a tough game to come back into the starting lineup, isn't it, at Burnley?
Yeah.
So I don't think it'll change a lot. I'll be very surprised.
Okay, Wayne, what's your thoughts about Tuesday night?
I would, team-wise, I would definitely, I'd probably take De Silva out for Bidwell, and I would, I'd probably drop Latty for Kitchen. Not exactly a great replacement, but it's. I'm just not enthusiastic about our defence guys, and I think I've got every reason to the way they're performing this season.
Yeah,
We'll get the odd good game out of them, but consistently we're just crap at the back, and that's it. We are. So yeah, I'd drop Lati for Kitchen, De Silva for Bidwell, and I'd go with that. If he doesn't start with old Bertie Bassett, then yeah, that would be a crime. Unless he's injured. But other than that, that would be the two changes. It's going to be bloody tough. And I think if we do get a draw, I'd consider that close to getting 3 points because it is, I say, our form is horrendous there. We don't generally do that well. So I'll take a point. Or I'll just take another good performance, even if we don't win, but it's a solid performance. I'll take that because then that's something for the manager to, the new manager to come into. As for playing 2 games in a week, for me, it's laughable if they can't. If they can't, they shouldn't be professional.
no,
I mean, most of these players now have, apart from getting their backsides white for themselves, they have the best of everything. Training, nutrition, the whole lot. If you can't play 2 games a week, you shouldn't be a footballer. I just think it's laughable for me.
Yeah. They've got to go out there and prove that because the last time, as I said, they didn't do very well against Derby after a great result against Middlesbrough. They were
and if we can't put players who can't play 2 games a week, then we need to bring in another 10 players to substitute. One team plays 1 game, the rest play the other. It's just crazy for me. If you can't play 2 games, it's for me it's laughable. Yeah,
well, somehow I think we'll see a good performance because whoever this new manager is, he'll be watching, obviously. If he's been told he's got the job, we're just waiting for an announcement. Obviously, I personally believe there'll be an announcement probably sometime after the Burnley game, maybe on the Wednesday. Hopefully, we'll all know. We'll be put out our misery.
It'd be interesting if it's not, even if it's agreed but not signed yet. Would old Doug's mind be swayed today by Leicester's decision? Would he be looking at Cooper? Because let's be honest, he's not had the greatest record at the minute, but in the Championship, you can't take away what he did with Nottingham Forest that season.
I couldn't look at that. That's any trouble. I'd struggle. It's odd looking.
I think the decision's been made, and the person has been told who it is. An announcement hasn't been made yet, and I think he's just waiting after this Burnley game.
But what if it is Lampard, and then Leicester go, we fancy Lampard, and he might go.
Interestingly, the names come out on the bookies today. His name wasn't on there, and I was really praying it was going to be on there.
Yeah, well, it just shows you. I mean, all the betting's been suspended on Cov City manager now, so the bookies are not normally wrong, are they?
No.
Very rarely they're wrong. So they tend to know inside information more than anybody else because they seem to get it right most times. Okay, let's go for some predictions then. Go on then, Wayne. What you going for 1-1? Did you say?
I think a 1-1. Burnley don't score a lot. They also don't concede a lot. But I think we may just get a result here. I think 1-1 for me. Okay,
I'll be happy with that. Rhys Carr will be happy with that. That'll be 3 points against 3 top teams, wouldn't it? So,
yes.
Claudio?
I'm going to go for a boring 0-0. And Gyökeres to score a hat-trick against Arsenal.
That's a big name up, don't you, again?
And then Man United to pay 200 million for him.
Yeah. No, I think 0-0. I think it'd be a tough game, obviously. But they're not scoring a lot, and hopefully we don't concede 2 goals. Cause
you think we can keep a clean sheet up there? Yeah.
No, but I'm trying to be optimistic. 0-0 is optimistic.
All right. Yeah. Miles, are you optimistic?
I'll give you me score, and then I've got to shoot. But I'm going 2-2 again.
Oh.
3 on the bounce, 2-2. I think we'll concede, but I think it'll go 1-1, then 2-2. Yeah. So there you go. Bassette to score again.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go for a dramatic 2-1 win. with a last minute goal from none other than Bertie Bassett.
Well, I'm going to shoot. I'll see you all later.
Okay, Miles, nice one. I'll see
Yeah,
you,
mate.
See you later, everyone. Play up Sky Blue.
So I'm going to go for 2-1. Claudio, we've got a few more messages.
Few more messages. Got plenty. Is there any more images you need to put up?
Well, I'm just gonna show you this. This was a man of the match, obviously on. Van Eerwick got it up in the lounges. He spoke quite well. We have got the interview, but it's quite long, and we couldn't quite get it on because it was too long to put on.
Was he your man of the match though? Did you think he was?
I don't think he was my man of the match. My man of the match probably went to Bertie Bassett.
Yeah, I think what he did, Norman Bassette, in that 60 minutes, whatever.
Yes, that was enough for me.
The game around, and I know we got the goal late on, but I thought Bobby Thomas. I mean, I know he
got it on Sky, didn't he? He got Sky man of the match.
Yeah,
we said that before it came up, didn't we? I fancy Bobby Thomas for this because, he did what he had to do to keep them quiet, but it's not his fault. The goals are going in. There's only so much one man can do. I mean, that Suter for Sheffield United rarely puts a foot wrong or a head wrong, and he got completely pulled out for the goal, didn't he?
The thing is, though, with that first one, I would have rather him attempted it and put it in his own net than not do it, because the replay didn't do him any justice, where you see him go for it and then he backs out, and it's kind of like the replay makes him look bad, and it's ironic he gets man the match, and here we are saying how bad they are at the back.
Well, yeah, exactly, yeah. So, but look, it was all. I think it was a positive performance. We got a point out of it, and I think if anybody asked anybody before the match kicked off, it was going to end up 2-2. We would have took that, wouldn't we? So
I think everyone would have took a point before that game.
Before the game, but it's annoying the way the game turned out. We could easily have won it. Easily. Coach provided if you weren't going up to Burnley on that cold Tuesday night, well, big travel's your man to go and get in contact with. ccsctravel.co.uk, or you can scan that code on there and they can give you all the details about coach travel up to Burnley on Tuesday. And I think we've got a car parking one, haven't we, Miles? Claudio, somewhere?
Yeah, we have. I'll just get that up.
You got it on there? I can't see it on here.
No, got it. Here it is.
Oh, there we go. Yes. There we go. Home game parking. We're at home, obviously, on Saturday against Cardiff. So if you need to park, even away, there's quite a few away game parkings you can also book with the same company. They do have a list of clubs that they deal with. If you go onto their website, they'll give you the full rundown, prices and dates, etc. So there you go. A few more comments then, Mark, before we wrap it up, Claudio.
Well, this is interesting because Ian Collins says, why do you all love Bidwell? League One at best, and Day Sports Photos, the day Jamie Allen is the answer is the day we should all give up.
Well, I suppose it's nice to have a player back fit on the bench, and that's all we've got at the minute. So I suppose we can't do much about it. A new manager will come in.
Having extra numbers, isn't it? That's it.
Yeah. A new manager will come in and they'll have his thoughts on different players. There might be players he don't like that we do like, and he might get rid of them. You don't know, do you? So it'd be interesting to see what the new manager's thoughts on the current squad is and who he picks for his first team.
Paul McCauley says, stick with the same deck as yesterday. Lee Beckett.
I love that word, deck.
Yes. Lee Beckett. My team for Burnley: Collins, Bidwell, Binks, Thomas, MVE, EMC, Sheaf, Rudy, Talk, Tats, and Bassette. Interesting lineup, yeah. Mad Frankie reckons Bassette and Sims could work.
Be interesting. Hadji and Bassette would work.
Well, we've seen Bassette and Sims, didn't we? Didn't they play against Tottenham?
Yes,
and it worked really well. But we also had that game where
Sims was not Bassette and Asante, wasn't it, against Tottenham?
That's it. Sorry,
Asante.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm giving Sims too much credit. But yeah, that worked really well because that allowed Rodoni. Remember, to thread some of those balls that seem to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think going back in the day, you're looking at a Dublin Huckabee kind of partnership, aren't you?
Yeah.
Because that's what that could be like a Huckabee type sort of runner, quick, fast, off the shoulder kind of thing. But you need somebody then who's up there who's strong enough to hold the ball up and things like that.
I just think Hadji and Bassette would work well, maybe when he's back fully fit. I don't know.
It depends. I mean, if Frank Lampard comes in, he likes a high pressing thing, doesn't he? So he's going to want, he's going to want players to really work, and you have to work really hard.
Yes, that's not a problem for Bassette. It might be a problem for Sims and Hadji.
I think it's just in you as a person, as a player. I don't think you can train that kind of thing. You either play like that. Like Jamie Vardy. Somebody mentioned it's like Jamie Vardy. You don't. That's a hunger within you, isn't it? That's just the way you are.
Determination, isn't it? Yeah.
We've had loads of players in the past, similar to, say, Sims, where they just looked a bit laboured, look like they don't care. Obviously, they do care, but it's just the persona they give off, don't they? Sometimes they make you think that they don't care, but they obviously do. But it's very the way Norman Bassette was playing yesterday. You don't see that often in some players, and it's great to see, and it's fantastic that is with us. Because we need that. We definitely need that.
I was going to say we haven't seen a striker do that until Vic.
Yeah,
he was the last one that was doing it.
Yeah, I mean, because what's his name? The Walker. I thought he was going to be great when he came, and he looked like
Walker. Yeah.
I've never seen a player never look like he wanted to play football. Never mind playing for us.
He's drifted out. Didn't he go off? I don't know. I've not heard much about him lately.
Went back to Lincoln, I think.
I don't know if he's not doing much there. I haven't heard his name mentioned.
I just find it odd that you haven't got that hunger.
Whether he's been out injured or what. But yeah, I remember Tyler Walker, yeah.
And where's Tavares?
Well, was he on the bench, Tavares?
I don't think so.
He was he?
No, Matthew Stone, club deliberately getting Burnley out of the way before announcing I'd take Cooper in a heartbeat. But feel the
just looking at Lincoln now, he wasn't in the starting team or
maybe he's injured then.
Yeah.
Maybe he's out injured. I haven't heard his name mentioned in goal scoring capacity either. So that's what I thought.
Ian Small is going for a shock 1-0 win. Forget Cooper. He won't be available until all the legal stuff is sorted. On the up, has gone for 3-2 win. Mark Cunningham 2-1 City. Cameron De Rossi 3-1 to Cov. Blimey.
The few confident people out there now.
I think they've all had a few beers with their Sunday dinner.
We said the new person.
Yeah, when they interviewed O'Hare, did he also need a step like Hamer did because he's also short? That was so funny, wasn't it?
It was brilliant.
Yeah. Mark Rainbow, did Robbins know Norman is a complete summit house and didn't want to play him because of that?
Well, Robbins must have seen him in training. Obviously, he's seen him. He knows what he's like. But maybe he just didn't take that risk. I don't know. But we've got a gem there, I think, and it's a shame we haven't started a few matches before this.
I've said it all along. We don't, under Mark Robbins, great as he wasn't keen on playing young players. He very rarely did. He's, I just find that odd. They used to get loaned out all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not telling me Burrows and Howley couldn't have boosted the squad this season. When we
definitely. I mean, from what I've seen of Burrows, he's half decent. And certainly we needed that. We needed the numbers. We were short on numbers.
Because at the minute, Milan is being ran into the ground. He rarely comes off. He rarely misses a game. So when all the others are going, they need, they can't manage it 2 games in a week. Well, he's playing 3 in a week at the minute.
Yeah.
There's nobody else to cover him. We said he's getting loads in tonight. What's up with O'Hare and his running technique? It looks like he runs wearing stilettos. Well, honestly, Latty looks like he's got a golf ball between.
Well, he was running around all over the place because he couldn't get hold of the ball on Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, yes, people are saying what's happened to Tavares. Well, we don't know, do we? It's just disappeared.
Interesting.
Dave Sports Photos, that aggressive attitude matters. Hadji just shrugs his shoulders when things go against him. You have to impose yourself on the game, on the ref, on the opposition. You're right, Dave.
Yeah.
Do you know what? With that's spot on as well, because I think we were saying, was it the game where he had the goal, which looked like a perfectly good goal, chalked off?
Yeah.
When he hit it, and he just walked away like, yeah.
Against Preston.
That's it. Yes. Yeah. And he just, and we were saying if that was Vic or someone,
he would have been in the referee's face.
Nuts. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
I think you're right there. And and I think going forward, I mean, we've got Cardiff on Saturday as well after the Burnley game, and then it's the Baggies, isn't it? And then Millwall, is that right? I think that was the way.
Yeah, we've got another midweek game the following week back at the West Brom, and then Millwall. So we've got a busy week, a couple of weeks coming up for this new manager when he does come in.
And Millwall, they've been quite impressive lately. They've picked up a lot of points, and and then they play an aggressive style. That's how they play. They, when people go to the new Den, you've been there. It's a tough place to play. I mean, I know we won there 3-0 last year, but that doesn't happen very often either, does it?
No.
It'd be interesting to see how they play against us, because predominantly we struggle against teams who press us.
Yeah,
we just fall apart, and it'd be interesting. I mean, Millwall had a decent result against Sunderland yesterday, so that will be an interesting game.
This is from Finn. He says, whoever takes over, they'll be very pleased with the performance on Saturday. Ian Cairns, as long as the defenders put a foot in, we'll be okay. 2-1 to the City. On the up, has Miles gone off to watch the Celebrity?
He probably has, to be fair, yeah. He loves that.
To be honest, I'm surprised his internet lasted this long.
No, he's loud and clear tonight, weren't he?
And you're not busy. So I don't know what you're doing. You paid the bill, have you?
No, I don't know what's happened.
Unbelievable.
You're sitting in a prison cell as well with the background.
So you're in block 18, aren't you, Wayne? Are you in 18?
16. Well, I'm literally right on the steps of 16 and 15.
Right. So, because obviously we were opposite you yesterday, and it did sound good. So how did it feel in the ground before the game? What was the anticipation? What did it feel like? Could you sense the crowd were up for it where you were?
No, I mean, it's before the game, most people were just talking about the possibility of Lampard, knowing that the club were going to do a little, video tribute. Atmosphere always, for the first 10 minutes is always decent anyway. And then as usual, it did die off. It always does. And then as soon as they scored, it did drop off quite a lot, and you even had them at one point singing "It all gone quiet over there," which it had. Then obviously we returned the favour with a goal and had it back. I don't think the atmosphere has been as strong as what it has. It was a little bit better yesterday because there was a bit of feistiness in the game, and that's what it was. But overall, it was all right. It wasn't too bad.
I must say about the gate, I said to Claudia, I mean, 28,000. We didn't look 28,000, did it?
There was lots of empty seats in 15, 16. All the railings. Usually you can't really see anything, but there was a lot of empty
seats from where we were, and
it
just didn't look like 28,000.
No, I was saying to the guy next to me, at best they look maybe 24 and a half, 25 in there. But there was a lot of empty seats dotted around.
Yeah, in the opposite corners, the Singers, you could see it was empty spaces there. So it was weird. I don't know how they do it, whether they just count the season tickets and then whoever bought it on the day.
Yeah, they season tickets are counted no matter what.
Whether you turn up or not.
Yes, 100% counted,
Not whether you're scanned in.
No, they literally, they're already counted no matter what. So if you've sold 23,000 and you're only getting 10,000, it will still come up as 23. I only know that from obviously when we do the exhibitions there every year, and you get to know a lot of the staff and how it works behind the scenes. So they're always counted no matter what.
Yeah.
So basically, the next home game, nobody goes in and see if there's 23,000 there.
Empty seats.
Yeah.
23,000 tonight. Oh, it's very quiet for 23,000.
It always used to be right at Highfield Road because it's on the turnstile, the clicker. They used to let people in, didn't they?
Yeah, and there's cash. And people
get the kids go underneath your legs.
A lot of people snuck in, didn't they? Yeah.
You were known for it, weren't you, Ken? Climbing over the wall.
Well, yeah, if I could get over the wall, yeah.
So, Lee, Dan, we'll finish off with this, shall we? Wilder predicts Cov to finish top 5 or 6. What's our thought? He even said 4th, didn't he? He was like we were getting higher as the interview was going.
He did say we were in a false position.
Yeah.
He said they are a good side. We knew they were in a false position. So, he knew it was going to be a hard game. So a lot of managers do that, do their homework, don't they?
So what do you reckon, Ken? Do you reckon we can do top 6?
Yeah, definitely. If we get the right person in, manager in, and we play like we did on Saturday, we'll win more games than we'll lose. Put it that way. Because definitely, without a doubt, we'll win a lot more games. And we should have won really Saturday, and we've been pit points up, hopefully away from home where we would not normally do it. But you've got to put in performances, and that was a good performance. And we're just very unlucky not to win the game, I thought.
What about you, Wayne?
I think we can finish top 6, no problem.
What do you think, Wayne? Do you think we're in? Well, firstly, are we in any trouble? Is the one thing I want to know, because forget the top 6.
No, I don't think so.
We're good enough to stay up, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah, we're good enough to stay up. Are we going to get to the top 6? No, I don't think we've got a cat and mouse chance this season. The reason being is because we can't defend, and we're still seeing the same errors almost every game that we seen last season. So for me, they're not getting better at the back. But
if a new manager comes in, Wayne, in January and changes the defence, gets a couple of new defenders, would that change your mind possibly?
Yeah, if you get a couple of new defenders, yeah. If you don't and you've got the same ones, then no. I think we'll be looking at 12th, 13th at best for the season. If we get a couple in, there's a possibility, but it just depends how far we are away at that point. But at the minute, if we were to not get anyone in January and have the same squad, I can't see how anyone could think we can get near the playoffs, because at the back we're not improving.
It's a very tight league, isn't it? Very tight league.
Yeah.
The amount of draws. Yes, there's a lot of draws in the Championship yesterday.
It's consistency as well, Ken. The thing is, we're not consistent enough. We can put a good performance in, and then the next game we're back to being terrible.
Yes, and this is the big test on Tuesday, whether we can do what we did against Derby and be awful, or can we step up and get something out of the game.
I mean, already with your goal difference at the minute, you are effectively 4 games adrift of getting into the top 6.
Right.
So you've got to not only claw those 4 games back, you've then got to go on another run after that, providing that most teams in the top 6 don't put anything together. So I think we're too far away, but I just don't think we're good enough at the back. And that's going to be our Achilles heel. We're defensively, we're poor.
Well, hopefully this new manager, whoever he may be, of course, will know that and hopefully try and make some changes in January, because Doug did say he's going to back the manager, whoever that may be, of course, in January. So
it'd be interesting to see with a new manager if anything changes with our loan system. That's going to be key as well in January.
I think we've got to get at least one loan in. That's what it's there for, to help you out, isn't it?
Why loan? Try and sign somebody.
Well, if we can sign someone, that's even better.
Because
if it's not possible, which sometimes it isn't in January because people don't want to sell, then loan. Loan is an obvious alternative.
But we've got some players whose contracts end at the end of this season. They might offload them in January.
Well, they may do. They may have to do a bit.
Who's out of contract?
Burrows, Bidwell, Jamie Allen.
Yeah.
I can't think of. That's what I can think of off the top of my head. But I think, well, like you, Wayne, we've got to bolster that defence.
Yeah.
We need,
I do think we need at least 3 more players coming in. 3 players in January, I think, at least.
I mean, we need quality. I don't want quantity. They keep saying we need quality. Well, sign some flipping quality then, because you're not going to do it by spending 4 million. You're going to have to spend 10 flipping million, aren't we? If you really want to get out of this division. So it depends. I can't see anybody coming in. If they do, they're a miracle worker and turning this squad around to get into the top 6. Yeah. Not because they're rubbish, because 9 points is a lot to catch up. And it's like Wayne says, you've got to expect everybody above you to have a real meltdown, not just the top 6, but you got to expect the other teams above you to do the same. Yeah. And I just think, we need some real quality coming through that door. We can't lose the likes of whatever people think of O'Hare. You can't lose him. You can't lose Hamer. You can't lose Gyökeres in the last 18 months or so, and expect we're going to be in that playoff position.
And we're talking about defence as well, but we're also light in midfield. I still think our midfield is relatively weak.
Because if Sheaf gets injured, we're back. There's no one there to take over, is there?
Yeah. No, we've got no creativity in midfield. We really lack creativity.
Well, the question was asked to Dean Austin that night at the forum, and he said to me, "We've already got 6." I thought,
but are they good enough? Are they good enough? No, they're not. Are they?
I said,
you might have 6, but they're not good enough, are they? The same quality as the Sheaf. Nowhere near.
3 of them are sick notes, aren't they? They're not injured all the flipping time. It's no good to us. They can't seem to stay fit, can they?
And I don't know where this Rodriguez, whatever his name is, when's he coming on the scene? He seems to be back training, doesn't he?
Didn't he play recently? Did he have 5?
He played for the under-21s, I believe. So he's back on the grass, as they say, but no mention of how far away he is. Or will we ever see him before the end of the season?
He might end up being what was his name? Was it Hilsner?
Yeah,
yes.
One of them.
Yeah.
But he had a breathing problem, didn't he?
Yeah,
apparently he did. Yes.
So it's a medical issue.
Clearly, whoever did the medical did well.
Yeah,
I think it's a bit different now. I'm not sure because there are. So I didn't know this. There are different medicals you can have depending on how much you want to spend on medicals. Yeah, obviously Premier League clubs. They're that stringent. They'll do everything to make sure. Players are fit enough. So if you've got an ACL, a previous one, they'll do all kinds of tests. Because at the end of the day, it's a lot of money, isn't it? They're not going to spend loads if they think.
And they need to insure that player with insurance, don't they? So that needs to cover and tick all boxes that they need as well.
Yeah. And this is something that Mad Frankie says about. What worries him is there's no under-21s coming through, and this is what we've been saying. Our academy is not very good at the minute. We're bottom of both leagues, I think. There's nothing coming through, which is weird considering everything's fantastic at Brighton. So something.
I'm surprised that wasn't, unless I missed it. I'm surprised that wasn't asked at the.
It wasn't. No.
I think we ran out of time in the end.
To be honest, mate, that forum, just going on it briefly, it was. We got the email, and it was basically to talk about the sacking of Mark Robins.
Yeah. And
the fact he brought Dean Austin along was interesting because we didn't expect anybody else. We saw the extra mic and we just thought,
new manager.
Exactly. Then Dean Austin, when we were talking about it's Dean Austin's here, we thought, okay. Because a couple of times he was going to answer and Doug kind of took on the question.
Yeah.
We just need quality players coming through that we can get them into the first team, and if they're any good, you sell them on, don't you? But that's not happening. Hasn't happened for a long time. Yeah, I mean, looking ahead, we're not going to go down. We know that with this squad of players, are too good. But if we can get somebody in and the manager can turn it around, it'd be incredible and fair play to him. If anybody, don't care who it is, if they come in and turn this squad around, we get
the manager of the season.
Exactly. Yeah. Who don't care who it is.
Yeah. That's why just quickly, someone asked earlier, just on our transfers and stuff, about Sims and would you get rid of him in January? Depending on where we are in the league, would you get rid of him if we could recoup our money back or a bit more?
I think if we can recoup our money, yes.
Yeah.
I think Ellis Sims, potentially a lot of people think there's a player in there somewhere, but for me, he hasn't shown enough to convince me.
He's had enough chances now, hasn't he, to stamp his authority?
Me, yeah. Scored some important goals for us, but he's missed a lot of chances as well. Let's face it, hasn't he? He's just going to give that impression that he's not interested. That sort of laid back attitude, isn't it?
Yeah. I remember saying when Eccles scored that great 1-on-1 at Middlesbrough, and he took it like an absolute quality centre forward.
Now, if that was
Sims going through, wouldn't have had
we'd
the
have
same
been
confidence.
Yeah.
Would have been in Rose Ed, but yeah, the way he took that, I'm thinking stick Eccles up front.
The problem is he scored, was it 18 goals last year or 19?
Yeah, he did. And he scored some good goals. Looking back, he did score some good goals. But he missed a lot. Have a lot of good. He probably could have had 30 goals if he scored.
There's a book in here.
I was going to say that there is a book because some of those goals were against poor opposition.
Yeah, well, 3 was against the Dog and Duck for a start. And the other 3 was against the Pen and Parchment because it was Oxford United's like second string, wasn't it, that cup game?
Yeah. He scored against Wolves in the cup. He scored against Man United in the cup.
Yeah, but that's 2 goals.
Look at the one he missed against Wolves.
Yeah.
I just feel, but I think for the way we want to play, he's not going to suit the way we want to play.
Yeah,
I think. Well, I'm presuming the new manager is going to play high pressing football. So I'll keep on. If it's Lampard, he's not going to suit the way we play.
Yeah,
he's
not that type of player. No.
Yeah,
and he might be suited to someone else. Maybe they got to look and offload him. Maybe.
The thing is that there will be people watching this who'll be screaming, going, he got 18, 19 goals, but you've got to look at the opposition of, 6 of those goals were literally against virtually non-league players at the time. I know it was Oxford, but Oxford have got a completely different team to who they are, this season. But his return on investment he's been poor. He really has been poor.
I will say, if you're going to get rid of a player, we've got to bring in someone better.
Yes.
Better than we've got. So it's got to be an improvement on Sims. It's got to be.
Yeah, we can't afford to sell him and not bring anyone in. That would just be ludicrous.
Yes.
Because we're light already. And with Wright missing now. And I'm not Wright's biggest fan. I think he's like Marmite him. You either love him or you hate him in a game.
Yeah.
That's literally what he's like. But yeah, Ellis Sims has been a huge disappointment. And I can't see him getting any better. And as you say, if we go with the high press, he is not that player.
Yeah, well, it'd be interesting to what thoughts the new manager has on the current squad. Obviously, there's going to be a few changes, isn't there? Few we might like, few we would be probably surprised at. I don't know.
Do you think it will be Lampard?
I think so. I think it's all indications it's going to be Lampard. I think the hold-up was probably how many backroom staff he's bringing in with him. But what I will say, I can't see Doug King getting rid of Rhys Carr and Boateng at the moment because they've only just signed new contracts. So, they've got to fit in, haven't they, somewhere?
And as he said at the forum, getting rid of people is expensive.
Yeah, and I can't see Doug King wanting to spend any more money, will he? He's not a man who likes spending money, to be honest. So,
yeah, it'll be interesting to know the departure of Robbins.
It's got to work with what we got.
Yeah, that. And it's also with Robbins getting paid out, how much that's going to impact January.
Yes, of course, yeah, definitely. And obviously they're still paying AD Vivash as well. So, it's a lot of money at the end of the day. And it'll be interesting anyway, put it that way. It'll be very interesting.
So we don't football club, I don't know.
League goals, Ellis Sims has got us 15 and 58.
Yeah.
That's 1 in 4. And he's only scored 36 in 125 league matches. I'm just going league games. I'm not counting cup games because they're all over the place, cup games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a 1 in 4 striker, yeah.
Yeah, he's not what we're looking for.
No.
If we want to be like we were yesterday, we need players like Norman Bassette. End of. Yeah. There's no room for sympathies now. I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
We can. I think. if that's how we want to be, I think we just need more aggressive thinking players, basically.
Yeah.
He doesn't fit the bill, does he?
No. You got a few more comments there we can go before we
Dan says, will Steve Cooper getting sacked change anything next week? Lampard preferring Leicester or Doug preferring Cooper? We kind of touched on that, didn't we? Saying that for all you know, he might go on. Tell me agent to have a word in Leicester. You never know. I saw people saying Mark Robins might go to Leicester. Why?
Yeah.
On what basis? He did well for us, but I can't see any Premier League club coming in for Mark Robins.
Yeah, that was it. Someone put earlier, he deserves Premiership. Why?
Why?
Oh, I certainly, I can see him going to another Championship club. Definitely.
Yeah, Hull City, they're bottom 3 at the minute.
Cardiff, I mean, got them. Cardiff, we were playing next Saturday.
Haven't got a manager.
Got a manager yet, have they?
Imagine that if Cardiff take him on his first game, and he does that.
Oh, that'd be brilliant.
Where he sits in the wrong dugout.
I wonder if they'll be singing any more one Mark Robins.
Oh, they would. Oh, yeah, 100%. They would. You know they would.
You know what? If it's Lampard, it's Lampard. I just want it to be somebody and get them in and get it sorted, because at the end of the day, Rhys Carr can't do a lot, can he? His hands are tied at the minute. They can't do anything. Even if he wanted to change loads of different tactics, formations, whatever, he can only do so much within what we've got. What's his remit? Nobody knows. So I think the sooner the better. We get somebody in and just think about the football, get it sorted.
Yeah, and there was rumours about John Eustace as well. So we understand he did get an interview for the job. So he must have had permission off Blackburn to speak to us because he's still under contract. So that was a rumour as well. So, and Blackburn, of course, didn't play at the weekend. Their game was called off. So I don't know. Be interesting.
I've got to say about our owner, he's very good at keeping things quiet.
Yeah.
And I admire that, to be honest, because, these rumours are only coming out from people somehow getting to hear stuff, but you don't even know if it's true, do you? Because not a lot comes out of our club. It's tighter than when Sisu was here.
Yeah.
We used to find out far more when Sisu was here than what's going on now. It's very, very quiet. So it'd be interesting to see who our new manager is going to be.
It would be very interesting. Just a little look with Ian Small. He says, agree regarding the Sims, huge disappointment. And I like this from Kev. Lampard wants to bring in his own coaches, which is the hold-up. Wayne Fleet and Harry Shaw. How about that? Those who don't know, Wayne Fleet are a coach company, and of course Harry Shaw are as well. So we'll leave you with that, shall we?
Yeah, I'll let you say the good nights then.
Yeah, thanks very much for listening. Thanks for all the messages. Been loads of messages, as you can imagine. We didn't get through all of them, but we tried to get through as many as possible. Don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. That's always very appreciative. Thanks, Wayne, for coming on again.
Pleasure as always, gents. Thank you.
And thanks, Claudio. And as normal. And thank you very much, Miles, who's gone off to watch I'm a Celebrity. Well, no new manager yet, but the Welshman, Rhys Carr's not doing too bad, is he?
You know what? We never thought it'd be this long, did we? It's ridiculous.
You know what I mean?
This is longer than my relationship when I was a teenager.
It's not been too bad at all. So we're all back in Rhys at the moment, as we travel to Burnley on Tuesday night. Let's hope we can get at least a point there. I'm sure we will all be happy. And then we can look forward at last to the announcement of the new manager, perhaps probably Wednesday, knowing Doug King. Right, that's it.
Sky Blue Army. Good night, everybody.
Sky Blues.
Good night, everyone.
Good night to you all.
Sky Blue Army. Sky Blue Army. Sky Blue Fans TV, for the fans, by the fans.
That's it. Yes.
Sky Blue Fans TV, for the fans, by the fans.